Hello dear friends and welcome back to my channel. For everyone who's new, I'm the Vegan Bossa. As you can see from what I'm wearing, Christmas is here again and I have decided to put many Christmas recipes on the tube for you guys. We're gonna start this week with the first recipe, which is the gingerbread mans. I have of course veganized it and I'm gonna share my recipe with you today. And of course, I'm gonna prepare also some icing to make some wonderful decorations for our gingerbread breads. So keep watching the video until the end. Before continuing with the recipe, if you like my video recipes and you want to receive more vegan meal ideas every week, please do subscribe and ring the bell button in order to receive all the notifications. Now, let's prepare the recipe. For today's recipe, we are going to use 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 125 grams of vegan butter, 100 grams of brown sugar, 80 ml of agave syrup, 1 tablespoon of grounded flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, then the spices, cinnamon, ginger, grounded cloves and nutmeg, and of course a pinch of vanilla extract. Take a big mixing bowl and first add the vegan butter. The vegan butter should be at room temperature. This is a very important step for these cookies because when we have the butter at room temperature, the texture and consistency of our cookies will be light and not too dense. Then mash the butter with the help of a spatula until it becomes soft and creamy. It will take some extra efforts, but guys, it is worthy because your cookies texture at the end will be amazing. Then we are gonna add the sugar and the agave syrup. Mix all the ingredients until they are well combined. The sugar and the agave syrup will melt and will dissolve into the butter, giving to the butter a creamy texture. Then we are gonna add the flax egg. A flax egg is made with 1 tablespoon of grounded flax seeds and 3 tablespoons of water. Mix them well together and add it to the butter. Then we are gonna add also 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix the ingredients together until they are well combined and a creamy dense texture is formed. We are going to continue with one of the most important parts of the cookies, adding the spices. We are going to add cinnamon, powdered ginger, nutmeg, some grounded cloves, and a pinch of salt. Adding salt to the cookies is very important because the salt will help to enhance the flavor of the spices and will balance the sweetness of the cookies. Mix well all the ingredients and then take a sieve and sift half of the flour inside the bowl. And very important is to add the baking powder into this step. We will sift the baking powder with the flour together. This is very important because we'll remove any lumps and will make the biscuits chewier and with an airy light texture, not too dense. We are gonna mix the butter with the flour. This is the first step, and then we are gonna add the rest of the flour. We're gonna sift it, of course. And we are gonna proceed mixing the dough well. Use your hands if it's necessary. Knead the dough well and lightly. Do not use too much force. Then when the dough is prepared, transfer it to the table and divide into 3 parts. Then roll each one of them between your hands and flatten a little bit with your hands, forming a disc of dough, and wrap each disc tightly with some plastic food wrap, like I did here, and then put in the fridge to chill for 15 minutes. After chilling, take one of the cookie dough discs and unwrap it from the plastic wrap and place it on the surface where we are gonna roll it. Usually I lay a parchment paper on the surface, I flour it, put the cookie dough, flour again, and put on top another parchment paper. This helps me to not stick the cookie dough to the roll, and then I roll until I have a 1/4 inch thickness, like in here, and then I cut the shapes. With all the dough scraps that you see on the sides, you can re-roll them again until the dough is completely finished. Place the gingerbread cookies 1 inch apart from each other on a prepared baking tray and put them to bake in a preheated oven to 180 degrees for 12 minutes. Allow the cookies to cool for 10 to 15 minutes after baking. Meanwhile, we are going to prepare the royal icing. For the royal icing, we are going to use 300 grams of icing sugar, 50 ml of aquafaba or boiled chickpeas water, 20 ml of lemon juice, and we are going to whisk all ingredients well together until we will have a soft texture icing, not too thick but not too thin, like in here. Then we are gonna divide the icing into small containers and we are gonna add all the colors we want. So I'm gonna add here some green, some red, some blue and some yellow, and of course I'm gonna mix well the color with the icing so the icing will get a uniform color. Then I'm gonna put these icings into small piping bags and I'm gonna cut the piping bags on top just 1 millimeter. And for the buttons, I'm gonna use some colored chocolate beans like vegan Smarties. Then have fun decorating your gingerbread mans. I'm decorating mine here with white eyes and some white stripe on his feet and on his hands. Of course, I'm gonna put a beautiful red smile to my gingerbread man, and then I'm gonna put also 2 buttons made of vegan chocolate beans. To glue the buttons to the gingerbread man, use some royal icing, and here we go. These are my gingerbread men I have decorated with my kids. So have fun decorating them with your kids at home, and Merry Christmas! I hope you really enjoyed this recipe and you will make this at home for your family and loved ones. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.